Now welcome to part 3 of the drag and drop tutorial. I'm just gonna continue where we left off last time. We're doing our right arm. Oops. Control Z. Just want to run through this pretty quickly. Now I need to do the add event listener for right arm. So it does right. Now we're just gonna be called right with a capital R because that's what I called it down here. Yep. Right arm. Gonna do left leg, sorry, left arm as well. Just run through this pretty quickly. Left arm. So we have head, body, legs, right arm, left arm, and I'm sure, yep. So now we're gonna continue on to our left arm drop function. There's one last bit also I need to show you how to do it. As long as you follow what I'm doing, you should be okay. And I think I like to say that's it. Let me test that. So I think now we can drag that into place, that into place, that into. It should automatically snap it. That's literally zap it in. So that's it. Now we can't drag it out again, which is good. So now the last bit of this tutorial, what we want is, let's say for instance, if I drag a head into the wrong target, I want it to go back in its original position, which is up there. So when I drag this into there, you should automatically pull it back and into its original position. So now what we have, I can just simply drag it anywhere, and it will stay there, and it will stay there until I go drag into the right target. So we're going to be using variable to store. So a variable is just a variable is a store. Is var to use that in Flash. So a variable is a store. So what we're storing is that head's current position. Is that fox's head's current position. We're gonna store that position so that when we drag it into the wrong target, it goes back. It restores it back in its original position. So here's how we do this. So we're going to use the start x-axis POS for pause, and it's going to be an integer. So an integer is a number. So to write an integer in Flash is int. Then we close. Sorry, we close this. So we're going to do that the same thing with the y-axis, capital Y POS. That's just my variable name, by the way. That's not a pre-written code or anything. So when you see something in black, it means it's just you made it up. It's not actually pre-written. When it's blue, it means it's pre-written. So so there's my variable. Now we're storing an integer, which is num. So what we need to do under the drag function, we need to do this. So here under we're gonna, and so under the function drag, we're gonna type in our variable, start off with the y-axis, underscore pose equals current dot current capital target dot lowercase y. So here's why we did that in the first place. So I wrote that in the first place because we're going to be using it again. I'm sorry, I made an error there. That here it should match this. So here it should be event dot current target. Same thing with our y-axis, POS equals event dot current capital T target dot y-axis, and then we close that, right? And that's us using, now we're using the variable. Now we're here under head, we're going to do an else statement. Basically here what we're trying to say is if this if this body is dragged onto the wrong target, it should go back in its original position. It should snap back. So here we're saying if that goes onto the right target, onto the correct target, you should snap it there and then remove this code and remove the event listener. Or else, if it's dragged onto the wrong target, you should take it back into its original position. So else, under else, we need to type in head dot x equals start capital X. This is our, remember, this is our variable. Same thing with our y. So I think just give that a try. Now let me just drag this onto the wrong target, and there we go. So drag that into the right arm, wrong target, sorry, and then yeah, that should have but then I'll fix that later. So that should so now we're gonna have to do that for the rest. We're gonna do that for the rest of them. So we're gonna be using the same. Just click on auto format. Fixes your code automatically for you. So yeah, so now so that should actually, I think I have the wrong registration point there. I'm just gonna copy the else statement for all of these other pieces, and now we're gonna be changing body. We're gonna be changing this instance name to body. So just gonna do this. Basically now we're pasting the else statement onto the rest of the drop function for the rest of the limbs. So here we have our right arm. We have our right arm, and for the last bit, hopefully I haven't missed anything out. And try that. So now legs, yep, it shoots back in its place. It's saying sorry, that's not my target. That hit area. So if I take it there, I think I'm gonna have to fix that a bit. So I think that should snap it back into place unless you take it and it's right target. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial. So on my next video, I'm gonna show you how how to put a timer so that you get like a certain amount of time to solve the puzzle. When the time runs out, it should take us to a fail screen, and we should be able to play again from the fail screen. Just simply click a play again button. It should take you back to this. I'm gonna cover that in my next tutorial. And yeah, I'll cover that in my next tutorial. I'll be posting maybe tutorials every week. I'm gonna be doing action scripts, so probably maybe next week I might post a maze game or a shooting game. I'm gonna show how to build a shooting game. So this is useful if you're studying multimedia, if you're a multimedia student. But probably in college they might ask you to build an interactive product for children. So you can use this to make your application interactive for children. So because this is quite straightforward, simple. So tune in my next video. Hopefully I can go into this. Thanks for watching, and go.